My next patron question is from Joshua, who wants me to compare two silly comedies. Between the following two Paramount distributed comedies about a group of people, Seth Green among them, going on a trip to find a large sum of money with Murphy's Law coming true along the way, which is better, Rat Race or Without a Paddle? I admittedly don't have the highest opinion of either of these comedies, although I won't deny they have their moments. But if I have to pick which one I prefer, I'm going to give the edge to Rat Race. Rat Race is definitely attempting to replicate the feeling of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World for the 21st century. The variety of characters do have potential for amusing scenes, and the set pieces definitely have the possibility to provide some laughs. However, I think the film mostly opts for easy gags and pratfalls that are run into the ground, whether it's Rowan Atkinson playing a narcoleptic, or Seth Green's brother being unable to talk through his tongue piercing. The movie tries to balance all these many characters, but the laughs fall short for the most part. Not to say there aren't occasional moments of merriment. I actually think the funniest parts come courtesy of John Cleese as the eccentric hotel owner who organizes the entire event. There's even a clever in-joke with his character being named Donald Sinclair, after the hotel owner who inspired the creation of Basil Fawlty in Fawlty Towers. Of the people actually participating in the race, Jon Lovitz also gets a few amusing moments, as he desperately tries to reach the $2 million, but is constantly sidetracked by his family. Otherwise, I don't think Rat Race makes the best use of the actor's talents, with many of the jokes being mostly sophomoric, and I expect more clever gags from a Jerry Zucker comedy. By the way, if you were not entirely sure what year the movie was released, it ends with a Smash Mouth concert, to let you know that yes, this hit theaters in 2001. While I do think the execution could have been a lot better, I can see what Zucker was trying to do with Rat Race, and it's not a bad attempt at doing a modern day It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. It's just very middle of the road in my opinion. Meanwhile, Without a Paddle attempted to inject some heart into its story. The idea of a couple of friends searching for D.B. Cooper's stolen money to complete something they've been wanting to do since their childhood is a nice one. I think the best scenes in the movie are those more heartwarming moments, where they realize the importance of their friendship and remember a friend who'd recently passed away. The scene where they find out what happened to Cooper especially stands out. You can tell the filmmakers wanted to make a nice movie about the bond between friends. Unfortunately, I rarely found myself laughing over the course of the movie. I chortled a few times, but otherwise the jokes just came across as stale and obvious. Seth Green's entire character involves him just being a butt monkey, while Dax Shepard is the typical bad boy of the group. They don't have much personalities beyond that, which would be fine if the comedy landed better. Most of the movie involves them getting into hijinks in the forest and meeting some other characters along the way, but even they did not do much for me. There are these pot farmers who serve as the villains, a couple of nature-loving women who live in a tree, and then Burt Reynolds appears as a hermit living in a cabin. These are all characters who could have been amusing, but again, I didn't find the jokes to be all that clever or funny. Of course, being an early 2000s comedy, Without a Paddle also has a few gay panic jokes. To the film's credit, I've seen much more offensive and insulting jokes from that era of filmmaking, but it's nonetheless an example of the sort of humor that has now gone out of fashion. This is not cancel culture, by the way. Comedy has always evolved to keep up with the times. There are even good comedies that have jokes that are uncomfortable to watch now, but they don't take away from the more successful bits that have aged well. My problem with Without a Paddle is it takes a promising concept and just goes for the expected and typical PG-13 jokes of the era. However, like I said, I did appreciate the scenes that tried to inject some heart into the story, and you can clearly tell Matthew Lillard, Seth Green, and Dax Shepard enjoyed working together on this film, and I bought them as people who've been friends since childhood. I also have to give the production team credit. Even though most of the movie is set in Oregon, it was actually filmed entirely in New Zealand, something I did not pick up on until it was revealed in the end credits. Now let me know in the comments whether you prefer Rat Race or Without a Paddle, and thank you for your question, Joshua.